Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into today's second video. We're going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days for today's second video. So day 10 will take us 22nd of September and we'll be able to extend out beyond that. We're going to set GFS and ECM ensembles, maybe going to around a couple of weeks, have a look at CFS V2 for the next 4 weeks and for October. At the end of the video, I'll get on that for you in a second. Just say the first video today was GMA Friday. So I've been poorly with COVID for the past week, as you all know. So I'm starting to feel a little bit better actually today, so I think I'm getting over that, but I still don't feel very well, to be honest. It's been a real nasty thing actually, and yeah, but I'm getting a bit better, so hopefully the content will be coming back from now onwards. Thank you so much for all of your lovely messages of concern and support, etc, etc, and hopefully we'll be back on track from here on in. Just to say that the GavsWeatherVids 2026 calendar is out there ready to buy, so if you'd like to snap up a calendar, all you need to do is send £13 to our PayPal account. That's £10 for the calendar and £3 postage and packaging. So send that to our PayPal account. We'll get your calendar out to you. I've had a few orders this week, but I haven't been able to get out yet. I'll either do them tomorrow. If you order a calendar this week, I'll either send it out tomorrow or be sent out on Monday. But I will be sending the next batch of calendars out very shortly. Thank you so much, everybody, for getting involved and doing that. It's helping to pay for a channel, and it's a fantastic product as well. So we've got some wonderful pictures within that. And thank you so much to James and for designing our calendar for us. Thank you so much, my friend. Right, going to start off in the tropical and subtropical Atlantic. So we've got an orange X, a disturbance area, but it's actually disturbance area 1, with a 40% chance of cyclone formation in the next 7 days. That might become our next tropical storm and or hurricane. We'll keep you posted on that one, of course. So, as far as the latest weather map from earth.nullschool.net is concerned, low pressure in control sitting between Scotland and Iceland. Further low pressure downstream in the Atlantic and bringing in a brisk and a strong westerly flow from off the Atlantic as well. So, low pressure in control and will remain so for at least the next week, if not longer. Central temperature is currently sitting at 16 degrees, a nice round 16.0, 2.5 degrees above 61 to 90 average, and is provisional to the 10th of September. It's gradually starting to tick down. These are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles. Next couple of weeks, London today. Red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for London. It's only off around to slightly below average for the next week or so. Really do get a few tick-ups coming along as areas of low pressure with warm sectors push through. They don't last all that long, and then the upper air temperature go back close to or slightly below average again. You'll notice this thick green line, which is the GFS midnight operational run, becomes quite warm at a certain point around the 20th, 21st, 22nd of September. That looks like a bit of a stock outlier, but we'll see how that happens in a moment. Does look a little bit zonal, I have to say. So cooler and warmer and cooler and warmer and cooler and warmer and cooler sectors alternating with one another there. So low pressure in control. Precipitation wise, we've seen a regular rainfall spike, so it looks unsettled really from beginning to end within the ensemble. There will be dry days coming and going, of course, but overall, quite a bit of rain on the way there for the next couple of weeks, if that's correct. Temperature anomalies for the next 5 days to be 17th of September, coming out below average, especially for central northern and western regions. 10 to 14 day is also a little bit below normal. Precipitation anomalies next 7 days to the 19th of September. They're coming out wetter than average, particularly so for more western regions. The 8 to 14 day precipitation anomaly, though, closer to average. Right, let's start going through the chart data then. Miss latest wind blow map looks, don't want to talk about. Miss latest UK make your run is looking with low pressure dominating the weather at about 980 millibars there, bringing wet and windy weather through the end of the week into the beginning of next week, rather cool and showery. The next low pushing through next Wednesday, that bringing further wet weather in with it. Then we get a break in the unsettled weather at the end of next week as ridge starts building through West Europe. That's probably been quite chilly air, though, and that could start to bring us the risk of some cold nights, maybe some touches of ground frost up in the north. Icon again with low pressure in control and dominating the weather on Monday, so plenty of wet and windy weather coming through there. Further low pressure punching through around the middle part of next week, and we end next week again with the next low bearing down on us. So no transient reach there with Icon. Actually, it's low pressure that's in control and low pressure all the way. The KMA again bringing deep low pressure in through the middle part of next week. That looks very unsettled. Dare I say it's storming even. That low gets out of the way. Then go drier and cooler maybe under this ridge, but I don't think that's going to last for very long. The next low is coming in as we move up towards days 9 and 10, keeping those unsettled, showery and cool conditions going up to and even So sorry everyone, even beyond day 10, that gets us 23rd of September. The KMA handled this breakdown in the settled to unsettled weather at the end of August really well, I have to say, and is currently modelling things quite well also. So hats off to the KMA. There. Okay, well, we move on to the GFS output. This is the GFS midnight run. Again, low pressure is in control through the early part of next week. The next low is rattling through as we move through into the middle part of next week. That brings a lot of wet weather in with it potentially Wednesday through to Thursday. Then we get a little bit of a break under transient ridge and the wind shifts around to south. So this is how the GFS midnight run becomes a bit of a warm outlier with both southerly winds. But in any case, it doesn't last very long. All it does is fuels low pressure, and we keep the unsettled conditions going with another dartboard there around the 26th of September. And that's as far as we get to with the GFS midnight run to 28th of September, and it still looks really unsettled. The GFS 6Z, in comparison, again brings in low pressure from off the Atlantic next week, further unsettled conditions to come. A brief push of southerly winds there around the 20th of September, but very quickly cut off as low pressure keeps on coming. And then a change into the last week of the month as high pressure builds quite strongly across the country. And so that probably brings a more settled end to September, but potentially a bit cold. Could be some chilly nights again at that area of high pressure, maybe some early season ground frost and whatnot. Well, if you enjoyed the video, please do like, share and subscribe. Thank you so much everyone for doing that. Drop a comment, let us know what you think about this and all of our videos and content. And don't forget to tell your friends about GavsWeatherVids and get to subscribe too. Thanks so much everyone for doing that. About 90 subscribers will get us to 20.6k, so it could get a sub. That'd be awesome. Thank you so much everyone. GM, again with low pressure in control, bringing lots of unsettled conditions for the early to middle part of next week. Turns warmer later next week with the wind shifting around to a southerly direction, but only briefly. That quickly gets cut off by around days 9 and 10. We're back into those westerlies again. And then the ECM rounds it all off, looking unsettled throughout next week. A bit of an attempt to build a ridge up towards the end of next week. That comes to nothing as low pressure pushes through again, keeping those unsettled conditions going. So sorry once more everyone. Day 10 though, just see a change to some higher pressure, some high pressure. And so we end September with more of a high pressure influence. That gets us 27th of September with higher pressure in the ascendancy there. Again, there could be some chilly nights though under that area of high pressure, under that anticyclone. This is a precipitation forecast based on that ECM run from Special.com. Plenty of showers over today, tomorrow, and then some really wet weather piling in from the Atlantic on Sunday. So Sunday potentially quite wet and windy. Back to those showery conditions for the early part of next week, and then further wet and windy weather heads in through the middle part of next week. And we get to around days 9 and 10, and then we've got to trend towards something a little bit drier then. These are the options on the table within the ECM ensembles today for day 10 from the Icelandic Met Office. It gets us to the 22nd of September. 16 members of the ECM ensembles with low pressure between Iceland and Norway and out of the Atlantic, so bring in a westerly flow. We've got 13 with a ridge building. to our west, a chop to the east, so drier and a little bit colder there. Winds in from the northwest. 10 with low pressure to the north, high pressure to the south, looking rather flat and westerly. 7 with low pressure to our east, high pressure out to the west. That will bring the wind in from the north or northeast direction. And 5 finally with high pressure over the country, and that will bring a lot of dry weather with it, but could be a little bit chilly. I'd say most of the options look to still be involving low pressure at day 10. And then in 2 weeks' time, means of the options that we've got, it gets us to the 27th of September. 25 members of the ECM ensembles have high pressure then to the south, low pressure to the north. We're into flat westerly flow, a little bit settled, a little bit more settled down in the south. We've got 15 with low pressure between Iceland and Norway, that bringing in a showery northwesterly flow. And then we've got 11 with high pressure building through the west of Europe, bringing a lot of dry weather with it. Could be a bit chilly though under that area of high pressure. So unsettled at day 10, maybe a change to some higher pressure by month's end. CFS V2 finally, so these are 500 millibar. High Anomalies broken down to week periods. The first week period takes us from the 12th to the 18th of September. Next week looks unsettled with low pressure dominating the scene. Week 2 will be the 19th to the 25th of September. Low pressure in control to the north, high pressure down to the south, and that brings in a westerly flow then. Week 3 will be the 26th of September, 2nd of October. Low pressure to our north and east, high pressure out to the west, bring the wind in from more of a northerly, northwesterly direction, a little bit cool and showery. And then week 4 rounds it all off. It's the 30th of October, it's the 3rd of October, I should say, so the 9th of October, we're talking about Gav, with a mid-Atlantic ridge going up towards Greenland, chop through Scandinavia, and that will bring the wind in potentially from quite a cold northerly direction, so it could be a chilly start to October there, if that's right, maybe with some early season frost. Wouldn't that be a turn up the book? CFS for October overall looks like this, so rather westerly, northwesterly, low pressure in the Norwegian Sea, high pressure out in the Atlantic. So it looks like it could be quite a mixed October there, I should say. It could be quite a mixed October. Temperature on is just a little bit above average, not a big deviation, and no signal for precipitation. A rather mixed October, I think, being indicated there by the CFS, but we shall see. Okay, we're done. If you've enjoyed the video, but please like, share, subscribe. Make sure you everyone board, dear man. Make sure to drop a comment. Let us know what you think about this and all my videos and content. And don't forget to tell friends about GavsWeatherVids. Thank you so much, everyone, for doing that. You can give us a sub, and if you do that, which is completely free, doesn't cost anything, give us a sub. Tell your friends and family to subscribe. If you do that, make sure you ding the bell, and you'll be notified when we're releasing content, etc., etc., etc. Thanks so much, everyone, for doing that. Right, so tomorrow, hopefully, 6M Broadcast is back at a 10 to 14 day as well. The ECM GWV 42-day exclusive for channel members should be released tomorrow as well. You enjoy the rest of your Friday, and for this one, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.